Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for those of you who are familiar with my channel, you know that I speak about medical student opportunities, the US residency application, and what I've been through. But what if I told you there's also another pathway? That coming to the US isn't the be all and end all, and there's also a UK pathway. So let's talk a little bit more about that in this video. So let's start with who's eligible for this pathway. So if you're a UK grad like myself, you are eligible for the UK provisional pathway. If you're an IMG, there are a few other loopholes that you need to go through. So you need to complete the PLAB 1 and 2, those are exams. You need to complete an English language exam, so the OET, you can check out my OET videos for that, or the IELTS, which is an English language exam, and you need to score above 7.5 and above 400 for the OET. And then finally, you need to ensure that your university is a GMC approved university, and that's going to be in the link below. And regardless of where you've graduated from or what pathway you need to take, you need to apply via Oriel, and this is what it looks like.
As you can see on the right is the F2 standalone program, and on the left is the 2-year foundation program. If you just graduated from a British or European school, that's what you would apply for. If you have experience or an intern year in your home country, you would apply for the F2 standalone program. You just want to complete your personal details and also fill out account information. So I'm just showing you guys the dashboard. This is what it looks like, and then the vacancies is where you go for an application. This application was already started, but essentially the first prompt would be start application. You start the application by completing your contact information, your home address, and telephone number. Then you get the dean's statement from your medical school. That would also serve as your medical degree evidence if you haven't completed medical school. Language skills comes either from the IELTS or the OET, and I'm going to link the OET videos. If you have a passport from an English-speaking country or a predominantly English-speaking country, you would not need that English language evidence. Profile image is your passport photo, and then you just click GMC compliance. Then you go into details about your medical school. If you have already graduated from medical school and did an intern year or anything else, you would complete postgraduate activity. Finally, you have your declaration, and you want to confirm that all of the information you've inserted is correct. And once you're happy with the entire application, you just click confirm and submit. If you've done anything before medical school, so if you've got an undergraduate degree or if you've got a PhD or master's, you may need to convert these so that it's in a understandable language, or so that you get accreditation for whatever you've studied. So what I used for that is Scalaro. It's a pretty expensive process, and it takes a couple of weeks to get the equivalency. So you definitely want to start this ahead of time so that it doesn't delay the next step of your application. I know it's still July, but the next stage will open up in September, and you want to be completely ready for this. And this is what the equivalency looks like. The idea behind this is that different universities around the world have different standards. So like, for instance, in Australia, we had HD and D, so like high distinction, distinction. Other countries have A+, A+, B+, B-. So it converts everything to a equivalent, understandable language. So all the Aussie universities use MyEquals, and this is how I acquired my online transcript. The translation services as well if your degree is not in English. Let's talk about the timeline, and feel free to screenshot this infographic above. So the process that we just did, you want to do this in July. That's where the deadline is, and the official application opens up in September. There's a separate application, a more sped up timeline for AFP, including the interviews, which we will talk about in a separate video. And then you have your SJT in December and January. And thankfully, unlike when I was applying, the SJT can help with allocations, but it is not 50% off your score. So your score now is just everything from medical school and then it just helps a little bit with allocations. And then in January, you've got your allocations, and finally you accept your offer around April. And then you have a few things that you need to sort out if you're an IMG, probably some visa stuff as well. And then in August, you can finally begin your training.
Your ultimate resource would be the UK FPO handbook. Ensure that you stay up to date with the timelines. You miss a timeline, you're out of the application. It's pretty harsh, but you can do it. Stay tuned for the next video, the actual application window, which will be in September. In the meantime, let me know if there are any other videos that I can help you out with. Stay tuned and comment below if you've got any questions. Have a good one. See you next time.